Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I got an awesome one for you today. Today we're going to take a look at the GM-15 Gummimaske. Well, everyone, I got a pretty sweet video. We're going to take a look at the GM-15 Gummimaske. And this mask was first introduced autumn 1915 to 1916 and onwards. It was Germany's first mass issued gas mask. They produced 11 million of the masks, but only around 4 million were actually issued. And that ended up dwindling down due to a shortage of materials. They were produced by a whole bunch of companies. I'm not even going to try and pronounce them. They're all in German, obviously, but I'll label them here. There was a lot of manufacturers that actually produced these masks during that time period. Let's take a closer look with the periscope camera. So here we got two great examples of the GM-15 Gummimaske. These are later models. The first original model looked more like this, and I'll show a picture of it. Now, you can tell the difference between a line mask, which is the first one, and the framed mask. These are framed masks. You can tell by the line how it's smaller at the top. It gave a better seal against the user's face. One thing they did upgrade was the lens covers, or the eyepieces. They're metal, nice metal frames on them. The lenses themselves, I'm pretty sure this one's acetate, and then these ones are celluloid. I could have that completely backwards, but that's the two kind of lenses that they ended up using throughout the time period for these issued masks. One nice thing that they did upgrade was they switched up to a 6-point harness and also incorporated some elastic to it. So when the user was wearing the mask, it would be nice and snug to their face. But this style eventually got phased out, and they introduced the spiral bands, as they're called. And so all this is metal springs inside some cotton fabric. And this was introduced autumn 1916, I think it was. And as you can tell, throughout World War II as well, a lot of the masks continue to wear this style of 6-point harness. One thing also that was nice about these masks is this one strand of string here dangle the mask pretty much from the neck of the user. And so when gas was called, it was right there sitting and ready to deploy, like so. It was just sitting there. Okay. And so it also had some tie downs, so you could tie it around, and so your mask doesn't fall off at any point. Fortunately, this one, it doesn't have it anymore. Another upgrade that they did to the mask, to the frame mask, was they bulged out the cheeks a lot more. As you can tell, it's got some wicked cheeks. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that's for when the condensation would get up in the mask or the eyepieces and it would create fogging. The user would stick his fingers in there and squeegee the mask or the lenses to clear that fog out of the way. You can see it a lot better on this mask here. Great thing about this mask is you don the mask and then you throw your helmet over top. It's nice, it's small, it's modular. You don't have to rip it out of a bag like the Allies did. It's just nice, compact. But the nicest thing about this mask is the interchangeable filters. February 1916, they used the 21/8 single layer filters. It ended up getting replaced by the 11/11 because it couldn't protect against phosgene and tear gas that were used by the French in 1916, sorry. The 1111 filters were a 3-layer filter, and it was able to prevent attacks from chlorine, phosgene, and chloropictin. Those filters were soon later replaced by the 11C11, which was a 3-layer filter. And it was effective against most gases that were used. These filters are both 11C11, as you can tell here and here. Now, extra markings on them do also tell you what these masks are. Like, I can go more into filters, but I'll do that in another video. We're just kind of focusing on these masks. These ones also came with the snap-on kind of filter on it. And the snap-on filter was used against arsons. It's a simple filter, a flannel to block against fine arson particles. What would end up happening, particles would seep through the filter, get in the user's mask, and he would end up taking the mask off and then choke on chlorine that was dispensed on the battlefield. And so they created this kind of snap-on to prevent all that. These snap-on rings, they weren't really seen until 1918 on the spring offensive. Sometimes you see in pictures some cloth or paper over the filter. And so what that was used for was actually to protect the mask when you were putting it in the can or taking the mask out of the can. Some people may say it was to protect the filter or to eliminate extra particles in this. I'm sure that did that. It was there more to protect, to fold over the mask and then to put it in the canister so it didn't get damaged, because as you can tell, like, these masks were pretty common on getting damaged. And so that's why they ended up making or using those cloth or paper kind of covers, filter covers. Next thing I want to talk about is the can itself. Very first kind of thing to hold these suckers were, it was the M15 canvas bag. And so it was a bag that held 2 filters and the mask. And this was later tossed away when gas was cold. You had to take out the mask, assemble it, and then throw it on, which was a very slow process. And so they needed something faster. And so they've created the D series of cans. This one here that I have is a D3 canister. You could tell it's a D3 because one, it had the crisscross wiring here, which was, I think, used to just kind of contain the mask. When the user's running around, it's not shaking around and everything. It just kind of holds it in place. A lot of the soldiers ended up taking cloth and whatnot that they would use to clean their mask, and they would store it kind of in that crisscross. Another feature that makes this a D3 is the bands in the bottom, as you can tell. And those bands were used kind of like a spring system, I would think. And that was just kind of like when you're putting the mask in or putting it in, taking it out, it just kind of dampers it from hitting the bottom and preventing it from busting through or falling out, etc. So that's why they made the bands. I also think they had the instructions at the top, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll have to look into that one day. One thing that they ended up switching out after the D3 series canister was the dimple. The dimple, they ended up switching it to putting it on the outside, because what ended up happening was when you take the mask out, sometimes it would get snagged on the dimple, so they had to change that, and they ended up later years switching with the dimple on the outside. But that's it for the D3 can. Later in war, but I guess still got issued to anyone. And this is a D5 style, D5 type, I should say. And so this is more of a later war, like 1917 Usually your GM-17 would come in a can like this. Maybe at the time this guy lost his can, needed a new one, got replaced with this one later war. This one's really nice. It's got the original strap. It's got this strap with a hole in it, and that hole attaches to one of your tunic buttons. And so when the user is wearing this, it's not shaking around all over the place. It's stationary by that button. One nice feature with these canisters is the locking system. You're not gonna have any issue about a mask popping out like this, the D3. It's all locked in, stationary, and that's one of the greatest features of it. Usually with these canisters, you get the instructions on the bottom. And then at the top here, you got your lens kind of protector. And so you would have your spare lenses in here, which is nice. And so I'll do another video on the type of canisters and lenses and stuff like that at another time. Same with the filters. I can do another video of the different type of filters with some pictures to back it up, which it will be a cool video. I ended up getting a lot of the information for this video from this book, Gas Warfare in the First World War. It's a really good book, lots of information, and it's a lot of the masks that are in this book are from private collectors, I believe in Europe, but fantastic book, lots of knowledge. That's also where I'll be getting a lot of the knowledge for the next video, which it will be the GM-17. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the masks. I forgot to mention, before we go, I will just show you these masks because I didn't really show you them up close. This one here is a Draeger, as you can tell by the stamp, dated 1916. It is a size 2. We got one mark there, stamp, another stamp here. And like I said, you can tell this one's earlier war because the fabric is also a lot thinner compared to this one. This one's a bit later in the war. This is also a Draeger. It's kind of hard to tell, but you see GER kind of matches with this one. And this is a 1917, size 3. And then the production stamps, one there. And the other one's kind of tucked into this little fold here, right there. Great mask, great condition, sorry. This one's a little beat up, but it's kind of, it is what it is when you're messing with things over 100 years old. Well, that's the mask. That's some history of the mask. If there's anything I forgot about it, leave a comment below. I'm always willing to correct some of my research and try and get more accurate information, that is. But if you enjoyed the video, looking forward to the next one. I'm going to do one on the GM-17 that's coming up next. And then there's a lot more videos on the go, idea-wise. I just have to get it on paper and then get it going. Like, subscribe. Yeah.